Thank you so much. Alhamdulillah Rabbil Alamin. We thank Allah for giving us the opportunity to be here again on another round. I use this opportunity to thank the team, NDMA, Ministry of Works, and of course our partners, WACA, which is under my ministry, NEA as well under my ministry, and the media, who are at least the ringleaders in fixing the communication aspect. For the questions, I would not say I'm 100% impressed. Well, for the positive side is government as a whole is doing its best to make sure that at least we provide expectations. But this year, the most challenging part is we are going to have above normal rains. That is what has been predicted. So it's important that we come out to see whether we are prepared for the amount of rain that might come. But I want to say attitudinal change needs to be. Last year the same sentiment was echoed, that in as much as government is taking the lead to make sure that at least the infrastructures are resilient enough to withstand the pressure from climate change, but human beings also, us, the citizens, we need to change our attitude. If you can see at the background here, last year this end was cleaned, but today it's as if it has never been cleaned since the time this place was built. So, and what is here is just illegal dumping and discriminatory waste disposals, meaning people have to change their attitude. We cannot continue doing the same thing, cleaning and again coming back again for the same exercise again. But here we are having WACA, which is a project, and I use the opportunity to thank World Bank for complementing government's effort to fix our climate challenges. WACA is the one taking care of the go-to streams to make sure that not only making it a habitable environment, but making sure that the infrastructure are resilient enough to respond to the demands of climate change. And even with the short-term measures, we can see, that's why I said I'm relieved. They have taken care of the 50% of the needs that have been done for in terms of cleaning the drainage and making sure that they are resilient enough for the coming rains. These are short-term measures, but the long-term measures are also there. It is a 5-year project that is expected not only to build the resilience when it comes to climate change, but to make sure that Kotu's area is tourism friendly, it's also environmentally friendly in terms of people living in it, and make sure that at least it provides a benefited livelihood to the habitants. So that is one thing that we are happy that now for the first time and at last, we have a project that has come to rescue the issue of drainage when it comes to Kotu streams. For the people, we have to be very, very patriotic. Patriotic in the sense that government is doing one part, but the country and the environment belongs to all of us together. You cannot be digging a hole and somebody is busy burying the hole. We will never get anywhere. Imagine the work that was done last year. Again, we are coming back to the same thing. I will start with Jabang. We went to Jabang last year, but alhamdulillah, for Jabang we having much progress. The force mitigative action that we are employed last year, they're still intact. We just have to do a few adjustments to make sure that we keep them in the safest conditions. And the social security team, we are also on the ground. I want to thank also the social security, the MD and the team for joining us to make sure that at least we put heads together, minds together, and resources together to fix the problem. Jabang's case is unique for the simple reason that it is a lowland. The area was not meant for habitants if everything were normal. But again, we found ourselves there. Even myself, I'm a resident of Jabang. But what is important now is to look for solutions. And the solutions are what NRA, NDMA, Works, and Social Security are putting heads together to make sure that we provide the solutions. Some houses would have to go. In another way, we have to redesign the drainage system, which is also been done. We have seen several ponds have been dug. Last year, there were 5 ponds, and then they're still there, that are going to be served as water retention, so that to reduce the pressure of water that is expelled to the end. So we want to make sure that those structures are still in place, and as far as my visit is concerned, the structures are still in place. We just need to do some adjustment to make sure that the illegal structures that are there, or that we are there, or the new ones that are there, we see how best we can also stop them and do some demolition. For the Birkama Jambar, again, attitudinal change comes in. Last year, it was clean thanks to NDMA and government. This year, again, we found the same mess again in the same place, meaning people have to change their attitude. We cannot be having this firefighting nature of fixing the country. People need to change their attitude. But again, enforcement also have to come. Some people are so difficult that I will not call them lower animals. But then again, some people, they need to be whipped so that they can understand. So we need to make sure that we use the carrot and stick ways of enforcement. Those that are not abiding by the law, let them be punished. I think that is what we have to do. But again, for this measure, what we have asked, those that are resident at the area, the shopkeepers or the garage owners, to clean it themselves before Saturday. And we have to monitor them to make sure that at least people have to take the responsibility. Last time, government took the initiative, spent the money, and paid people to do it. So this time we want, even if we are going to pay people to do the other side, but where they are resident, where they are staying, and we hope that they are the ones who have also contributed in messing up the place, let them clean it. So by Saturday, NDMA and NEA and the security will make sure that they team up, and all of us together, to enforce and make sure that they clean up the area. The rest of it, whereby we think that it is a collective responsibility, we will engage council and make sure that also we come in to make sure that it is clean before the rainy season. We are not sure what's going to be when the rain comes, because when they say above normal, you don't know what you are going to get. That one, it depends on nature. But we hope and pray that the rains will come with ease, and we'll be able to accommodate it based on our infrastructure. For Banjul, we are happy. We are not happy. It's still the same attitude, cleanliness. The area that we cleaned again last year, and we asked people to move from the area, like the squatters, those garages, they're still there. And even they messed it even much worse this time around. But thanks to NRA and then the Ministry of Works, they're having a sustainable measure. That means that they have to concrete the entire area, the drainage, to have a concrete slab. So with the concrete slab, we're hopeful that people cannot now come and open it or break it and then waste. So those are sustainable measures and long-term measures. Banjul is already, I think most of about 20% is already done. So the contractor saying that maybe in the next few weeks or so, they should be able to do at least more. So the rest that are not able to be done, they need to also clean it. Luckily, the council were there to join hands and make sure that they give assurance that they will team up with NEA to clean the environment. To round it up, attitude needs to change. We cannot keep on cleaning the same thing, spending resources. But again, for government, we have to look for sustainable measures. And one of them is, or some of them is getting projects to support at least a long-lasting solution, like in the case of Waka. And also the Ministry of Works also coming up with lasting solutions to make sure that we have concrete straps on top of this drainage. Then maybe those that are human enough would be at least deterred not to waste it. But those are on human, they will even want to break it, because I am a living witness. There is a concrete slab on a drainage, and I saw some people using stick to force the waste inside the drainage. So it's not a matter of concrete or no concrete, it's a matter of attitudinal change. Before I end my view, I want to thank His Excellency the President, who has assigned the Vice President to supervise the issue of disaster in these areas. And unfortunately, the Vice President has traveled on Hajj. We wish him and the entire team safe travel and then a successful and accepted Hajj. Has assigned us, some of the ministers, Minister of Environment leading the team, but Minister of Works, Minister of Lands, Defense, Interior, to make sure that we visit the areas and give them back the feedbacks. And that we are going to do, we will inform Cabinet what we have seen and what we need to do based on the action points. We have the report will be out before Friday. Then whatever needs to be done, we will now work on the action to make sure that we execute them accordingly and as quickly as possible. I thank the entire team. It's a hot day, and it was a hectic day, but again, it's worthwhile. Even if everything is intact, it's good that we visit to make sure that at least we are in safe hands. We don't have to be waiting until when the rain comes and surprise us. For the new roads, I want to talk about them. The new roads, actually the rain will test the efficiency. But we are hopeful. What we have seen now, thanks to the Ministry of Works, they have changed their strategy to make sure that not only are they giving us infrastructure in terms of roads, but efficient infrastructures that are not only economically friendly, but environmentally friendly, by providing efficient drainages, and also that will be able to withstand the impact of climate change. So we are hopeful that the amount of drainage that we have seen should be able to accommodate the water flow. But in case it is not, the contract is still young, is still in the implementation stage. So the contract will be engaged to make sure that at least the challenges are being mitigated before the end of the rains. But I ask all of us to make sure that we discriminate from illegal waste dumping. it's affecting our environment, it's affecting our drainage, it's affecting our livability. So let's make sure that we join with government and make sure that we support in cleaning the environment to the best of our ability and according to our responsibilities. I thank my permanent secretary for coordinating the entire process. It has been a very short notice, but again, this is what we call efficiency and also responding to emergencies and pressure. So we are happy that we are able to make this. We hope that by next week when we come back, we should be able to see a friendly environment that will be able to resist the coming rains. I ask Allah that we enter into the rainy season in peace, and the rains comes with softness and give us what we want, that is at least good yields, but not disasters as we have been experiencing in the past. Thank you all for your kind attention, and thank you for joining us on this team. Unless you have further questions.
Before wrapping up, some of the places we've visited, we've seen structures obstructing some of these canal or would-be canal that are designed to be water canal, and some of them we understand were issued notice, but they're still hesitating to vacate from those areas. What will government do in addressing those issues, and is this going to be a regular visit by the stakeholders or those responsible, or is this just one-off?
Not really. In this nature, maybe it's not going to be very regular because we are all busy people in our other areas, but we have NDMA, who is the lead agency responsible for monitoring and managing issues of disaster, and we have other key partners, NRA. This is almost their routine work, so they are always there. It's not today that they have been there to make sure that they monitor developments and also execute some of the assignments. For the illegal structures, I would call them all obstructing structures. Some of them are not illegal, they are obstructing structures. We have reports that have dictated, that have recommended something to be executed. That is, some needs to be, like the case of Jabang, some of the structures needs to be reduced, some needs to completely go, some need to be demolished. So we will execute them. It's difficult. Human beings, notice we are served, but people are still adamant staying there. But again, we have to enforce. In as much as government is here to serve people, but you will have to sometimes take the risk to make sure that at least it's better to have a minimal destruction than to have at least that will affect the entire populate. So if 1 or 2 houses need to go, in the interest of the general public, we are afraid, but we have to execute them. And this we will do, inshallah. Physical planning, the department, Minister of Lands, we are supposed to be with us, but the minister said that he is engaged. But we will brief him. If it needs also, we'll have to get him to the field, because seeing is more proactive in making decisions. We want them to come and see what we are saying, so that then the decision making will be quicker and also we will be more informed. So we'll try to make sure organize another visit with him if he's available, so that we can see, so that at that policy level he will have a foresight of what is happening and what we are saying. Then he will also be able to support us to make sure that enforcement is real and we are able to get the results accordingly. But we need to act, and we need to make sure that not everybody needs to be happy on the same page, but at least let's make sure that national interest surpasses individual interests, inshallah.
Okay, thank you very much. First and foremost, I want to thank the Honorable Minister for leading this visit, and in the same vein, I really want to thank the government of the Gambia for providing the conducive environment in terms of disaster management and governance in this country. I think the biggest challenge of this government are 2 things: is compliance and enforcement. That has been the challenge of the government. We all know that government has a responsibility, but again, the population itself has a responsibility. Once government is trying to play their responsibility, I think the population also has to also fulfill their responsibility. Disaster management is everybody's business, because when disaster happens, mostly the community, they themselves are the first-hand response providers. So it's important that the community takes their responsibility, so that we will reduce risk as well as we will reduce vulnerability.
So what are we doing as an institution? the NDMA?
The NDMA is doing a lot. If you see, this is one of the preparedness measures that the NDMA is doing to sensitize the public about disaster risk measures that are happening here. The government is investing a lot in terms of risk reduction. It's just that the media does not capture some of them. All these road construction are disaster risk measures. The visit today is a disaster risk measure because the population will be informed as awareness creation as how they should safeguard themselves in terms of disaster risk problem in this country. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Just a bit of a background. WACA is West Africa Area Coastal Area Management Program. It's a World Bank funded program that is currently running in 9 countries. So we're in phase 2 of the WACA project. Phase 1 was 6 countries, and phase 2 additional 3 countries were added, which includes Gambia, Ghana, and Guinea-Bissau. So the project development objective is to make coastal communities resilient to climate change. So in the Gambia, we're focusing on addressing flood issues along the Kotu stream. So as you know, the project is 5 years and it started recently. So we're in the preparatory phase. We're developing detailed design and feasibility study for the stream to bring out the design, because we are to reprofile the entire Kotu stream using nature-based solution, as well as providing green space with green and grey solutions. So given that the physical investment will start sometime in the 3rd year of the project, but we felt the need, given the project is meant to address flood issues, and we don't want the project to be here and people still suffering from flood. So we've engaged our line ministry, which is the Ministry of Environment and Natural Resources, as well as the World Bank, and approval has been given for us to do short-term intervention. And as part of the short-term intervention is to conduct a thorough cleaning of the stream, from Sunset Beach Hotel all the way to Nemokunku. And in this cleaning process, previously they used to do drenching, but that has been found to be unsustainable because it undermines the breaches. So this time around what we're doing desilting, that is to remove all the waste, as well as where there are sand dumps, we will desilt the sand from that place. So we've contracted 3 Gambian farms and divided the work into 3 lots. So one farm is focused from Fajara all the way to the Manjai Bridge, and the other farm will take off from Manjai Bridge all the way to Nemakunku. Whilst the 3rd farm will focus on cleaning the drains that connects to the channel. Because this way, we don't want to address problems of the Kotu stream, but if we don't address the drains that connects to the channel, then we're not addressing the flood problems at the So this is a short-term intervention, but come back by the end of the project, this entire stream will be reprofiled, and that should go a long way in addressing flood problems that we have, as well as waste management issues that we have along the Kotu stream. So essentially, this is what the WACA project is currently doing, and we intend to do by the time the project ends in 2027.
Thank you very much, Mr. Sisi.
You're welcome.